So welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our Goal Mastery Achievement Mastermind, our Sunday Goal Mastery Achievement Mastermind. I am Mike DeLuca. I am your host. Very excited that you are here. And welcome everybody who is joining us on Facebook Live. So happy to have you here. Welcome you all who are joining us on Zoom. As I mentioned, this is another Sunday Goal Achievement Mastermind. It is brought to you by my company, Integrative Wellness and Development, LLC. And for the purposes of education, personal development, personal growth, we're here to have you explore amazing personal growth topics, here to educate you, inspire you, perspire you, but we are not here in any way, shape, or form to diagnose, prevent, or treat any illnesses or conditions. If you are experiencing any illnesses, health conditions of the physical, mental, or emotional kind, we highly recommend that you consult a licensed practitioner or your family physician. Also, all of the things we give that are techniques and tools to help you in your personal growth and business growth, they are there for education. We do not promise or guarantee any results. These sessions are not instant magic money machines. They are really to help give you more tools to add to your toolbox. So how's that for a list of disclosures? It's kind of like those pharmaceutical commercials, right? Take this thing and it's going to help you with this, but then they spend 15 minutes telling you about all the things that it's not. And, if it could cause your feet to fall off or your ears to fall off or, to grow a third head or all that other stuff they do. That's the disclaimers here. They're pretty normal and natural but I do need to say them so I set the right expectation. But tonight is, I think, a very exciting topic. I think it's a very important topic. We are going to jump right in with the screen share so that we can see the PowerPoint. And here we go. So as I had mentioned in the announcement, the topic for tonight is all about how to use the energy of your fear to fly above your fear. Interesting concept. Let's dig into it a little more deeply. So I'm going to move some things around here because all kinds of things are in the way, and press a little button here and make this a big PowerPoint. There we go. And everybody can see the big PowerPoint now. Good. So let's move into this. How to use the energy of your fear to fly above your fear. So first of all, it's important to recognize that when we experience fear, it is a reaction. So let's look at where that reaction could be coming from. So when we are afraid, we're usually afraid of what would happen if we actually do a certain act. Right? Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that actually is quite true, but fear is a real experience and it's created when we have this situation. Okay? When we are faced with something, right? Immediately, we all know about this reptilian brain, the most ancient part of our brain here, along that brain stem. That's the oldest part of our brain, and it was designed for one thing. It was designed to protect us, and all that it was interested in is, are you something that's going to kill me or something I can eat? And then it would fire up the fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. Okay, so this goes on today. It's millions of years old, and it still operates the same way today. So what happens then if we face the situation we know that we have to make a choice to act. And we've decided that we want to have a certain result. But then we get to the point to where it's time to actually do the thing, right? Then suddenly that part of the brain says, whoa, whoa, danger, danger, danger. Well, what if this happens, right? And let's think about, the what ifs. What if this happens? If that happens, that's going to make you look really stupid and you're going to feel really bad. Or that could actually create a problem in your relationship, in your health, in your finances. Do you really want to do that? Right? So now, what is that doing? That's creating this conflict between wanting to do the thing, right? Wanting to go this way to the positive. And because of the defensive nature of the reptilian brain here, it's saying, run away, right? Get out of the way and let's run away. And that does not provide any real constructive activity that's going to lead to the accomplishment of our goals, but it's natural, right? So let's look down here. What's actually happening here is this energy, this creates energy when we start to worry. When this thing is firing up and we're concerned about, the adrenaline is starting to flow and, the blood flow is going to the muscles and all kinds of energy is being created. And one of several things can happen, right? If we choose to not act in the positive direction, if we choose to run away, can cause us to run into a wall, right? That's one thing that could happen. Or it can cause us to have this energy build up and we are saying, nope, not going to do it, not going to do it. The energy builds and builds and builds, but we are then facing the effects of stress. The fear is creating anxiety. It's raising all kinds of havoc with our hormones, and it's raising all kinds of havoc with our health. So that can either cause us, we run in a wall, and that can cause this buildup of negative energy, or we make the decision to just not do it, and we run away, and we don't act, versus going in reverse or upside down of acting from the fear and moving forward in the direction we have chosen to try to do. So either way, there's energy involved. Now, I come from a long martial arts background. And in that martial arts background, we learn that when energy is building and energy is coming towards you, rather than running into a wall, right? Or you have a choice. You can run away, right? Or you can use the energy. You can redirect the energy of the opponent, right? So when, this train is trying to run away in this direction, rather than stopping it, what we're actually doing and want to do is we want to channel that energy in the direction we want to be moving, right? So you've seen that in martial art movies, right? Where the person is running in to attack the other person, and the other person, in that moment they are coming at them, they just touch them and turn their bodies and leave this space for them to move through. They redirect the energy so that they are safe and they can safely move in the direction they had chosen to move. So it's important to take a look at, when we're afraid of what would happen if we act, we need to respect and take a look at what would happen if we don't act, okay? So I gave you the example of a martial artist. Many of you who have ever done musical performances or dance or speak in public, right? The fear that's greater than death, public speaking. right? That energy is building up in you of, you're getting a little jittery, jitterbugs, you're getting a little scared, the questions are starting to pop up, what if, what if. Great performers and speakers learn to channel that. And we actually are blessed to have someone who I feel is an absolute incredibly accomplished musician and performer. And he's actually on the line with us. Many of you know him. Russell Stern is one of my heroes. And I was wondering, Rusty, if you would be willing to spend a few moments sharing how, as a masterful pianist, performer, composer, and married to an incredible performer and singer, how do you folks use the energy of fear to turn around and make an awesome performance?
Hi, Mike. Good to see everybody. I'm in my car with my winter coat on and everything. So here I am, and I just pulled over, and I'm happy to share. I've just had a concert this afternoon, and beforehand, about an hour before, I saw Mike's email. You can all hear me okay, right?
Loud and clear.
Great, great. And I saw Mike's email, and it was really helpful for me to see the title. And it's something that I've learned and been told many times and experienced many times in performing as a musician. Starting, I remember when I was probably like in junior high or something like that. And there was this wonderful flute player who was playing a concerto with the orchestra. And they asked her about if she gets nervous or she's nervous. And she looks at it as excitement, or it was working for her, or I don't remember all the exact words, but what I understood from it was that her love for playing was really the energy behind it, and shifting that fear into the joy and love for playing so it could work for her. And I know Susie's experienced that. There was somebody, Susie's my wife, and who sings, and she was told by one of the people who had scheduled her to sing that they feel like more confident in somebody who's been feels the nerves, because they realize that they understand the consequence, not the consequences, but the responsibility and what it takes to do what they're doing. That sometimes if they don't, they're just kind of sleepwalk through things, aren't responsible, or don't come through. But it's always, the lesson is exactly what Mike is talking about, is using the fear and shifting it into love and excitement, and being your friend. And I needed that help today, just to see that again. It was a scary, I was planning doing a 2-hour program, and I hadn't done a program like this for a long time. And I was going through some recuperating with my hand and everything, with some stuff that was going on. And there's some really, really hard things. And so there was like what Mike was just talking about, like, well, all these things could happen, and I could fall apart, and I could just, all this stuff. And also, I wasn't sure I knew everything, the 2 hours worth of music well enough in my brain and my heart. And I was like, so I just had to dive in and trust, and let the love take me through it. And that the fear was just like an energy. It turns out it helped me be better than if I didn't have that there. And so it was a strong experience that I was able to have this afternoon, of this very thing that Mike's talking about. So I mentioned that to him right before the session, and he asked if I could share it with you. So there it is.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Russell. I really appreciate that. I think that gave everyone a much clearer picture, a beautiful picture of what we're talking about. And it really does dovetail with this section here. And that's, energy is energy. So as Russell said, we can look at the energy as something that's done to us, right? The fear energy is something that, is coming at us. It's threatening us. It's done to us, or it's something that's created for us to use if we are confident and we understand that we have the power always to make a choice. about how we allow a certain cause to affect us. And so just like Russell said, we make a choice. We make a choice that can take that energy, because energy is energy. It's how we use it that it determines the result. So the first technique here is when you have that energy and it's pushing away from the direction of doing what you came there to do, right? When we are afraid of what would happen if we do that, by shifting our perspective to what would happen if we don't do it, right? What would happen if we didn't do it? We didn't meet our commitment. We didn't take the opportunity to shine and take another step forward, in our life and in shining our brilliance and developing our ability to create value in the world. What would happen if we didn't act, right? And this is something that drives me every day, right? It's not just the fear of, I hope this turns out okay. I hope that, I don't look like an idiot. I hope that, people like what I have to say or don't think I'm being egotistic. All of those things are running through my mind. Or, you know what? Why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. I could just watch TV, but what would happen if I didn't do it? That's what I always look at. And that's what allows me to channel that fear or hesitation to, no, I take that energy and that fear and I just put it into, give me more energy to carry forward. And I'm going to do it because my why is stronger than my fear. And that's what we want to get to. So here's a little exercise for you. Think about something that you've been trying to do or thinking about doing or accomplishing, a goal you've been looking at, making some progress with, but every time it comes to you taking action to actually take steps and move forward to do the things you have to do, you freeze. Right? And we've all been there. So if you're in that situation, right, that energy is building up and, you're starting to get real uncomfortable and, you either move forward and do something or you find other things to do instead. And that's another sort of non-productive way of channeling that energy. It either builds up inside of us till we explode in some way, or we take that energy and we use it to run away and do everything else possible, including cleaning the bathroom, rather than doing the thing that you had come there to do, right? So take that item you've been hesitating, procrastinating, or just are downright afraid of doing, and ask yourself these three things, right? What could be awful if we do it? And list them, right? What could be awful if we do it? What are some of the things that could happen that would be negative to you, that would be, would give you a reason to not want to do it? And list three things. For me, it's always like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to waste money. I'm going to have family laugh at me. I'm going to have friends, whatever these three things are, put them down honestly on your piece of paper. Okay, now I want you to shift your perspective, right? I want you to get in touch with that powerful why that causes us to move in the direction of getting something done even though we're afraid. But I want you to list what would be really awful if we don't do the thing that we are committed to doing or want to do. It's our goal to do it, right? What would be awful? Number one, we might spend the rest, for me, I might spend the rest of my life asking myself, what if you tried? What if you succeeded, right? What could that mean? Who could you help? What level of life could you move to? And you're never going to do it because you never took the step, right? Am I going to let people down? Am I going to let my family down? Am I going to let my clients down, right? Am I going to let my future clients down, right? Number three, what would be awful if we don't do it? I wouldn't have the learning and the experience. I wouldn't have the impact, right, on people in life. I wouldn't be serving at the highest level of my capacity. Because to serve at our highest level of capacity is to move beyond our fear. It's not about not being afraid, because that's a natural energetic response. It's what do we do when we're afraid that makes the difference. And this question helps you develop that energy towards moving towards doing the thing. Because if you're thinking about bad, right, what would be bad if we did it? So if that's the mindset you're in, then think about what would be bad if you don't do it. Because this is going to be stronger if your why is stronger. And if you've been working at building your self-confidence, building a positive mindset, working with meditation and contemplation and spiritual pursuits, this is always going to have the opportunity for us to create more and more energy and momentum towards the actual doing the thing. Okay? So go ahead and fill, instead of 3, fill in 6 reasons why it'd be awful if you don't do it. Right? Later on, you can keep working on this side and just say, what would be great if I did do it? Let's take another minute or two and work on this. Okay, here's the next tool. Right? If we have these opposing forces here, these opposing desires, right? You can think about them sort of like, on your left shoulder is the one that's telling you, no, I'm afraid, I'm worried about what's going to happen to me if I do it, right? And then you have on your right shoulder the one that's saying, I'm afraid not to do it because I want so much to have the benefits of doing it, right? And you have these two different things, right? An exercise I do with my clients, I actually did this week with one of my wonderful clients. And I said, you told me that today you came in here with a great deal of fear about carrying forward in the homework that I gave you in completing some items on their website that I was putting together for them, for their business. And I said, look, let's take a moment, and instead of fighting that fear, instead of seeing that fear as an opponent, right, as someone threatening you, let's stop for a moment, visualize on your left shoulder that the fear is sitting there on the left shoulder. And just stop and ask it, what are you trying to teach me with all of this fear energy? What is it you're trying to teach me? And it was really interesting because the answer they got was that they were actually, the fear was actually trying to get them to place attention on the why. Place her attention on what was her true motivation to serve and do, right? And to get her to stop avoiding and to face it, face what's behind the procrastination, or doing everything possible but what she was assigned to do. She was afraid of moving forward because once the homework was complete, then the program I was developing with her would launch. So that fear of it actually getting out there caused her to do everything possible other than what needed to be done to finish so we could launch, right? There's a term when children of more advanced years are still living with their parents and have not launched out of the nest, right? That's called failure to launch. And it's a popular term. It's actually probably more popular today than ever because of so many people moving back with their parents because of the financial challenges we're having, massive layoffs, inflation, etc. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to gather up the wisdom and the energy and the momentum to launch. So you want to ask this fear that's trying to run away, causing you to want to run away from making the action. What is it you're trying to teach me? So do that. Take a moment. List 3 things that fear that is causing failure to launch. What are 3 things it could be teaching you that are actually useful for you in your pursuit of progress? And when you have that, it's important to recognize and honor our fears. Because when we do that, when we let them know, hey, I know you're important. I know you're trying to teach me a lesson. I value you. You're a valuable, important part of me. You're an asset to me. You are a partner to me. You are something that has positive value to me. So I thank you for what you've taught me here. And I want you to know that I will always listen to you and value you. If we start having that conversation with our fears, some amazing things are going to happen. Because we'll learn from that. It's like, I use the analogy with my client. It's like having nightmares, right? We've all had these recurring nightmares. And we wonder, why do we keep having these recurring nightmares? Because nightmares are created to teach us about something we need to learn, but have been avoiding it or escaping it or not putting attention on it. And so the nightmare comes back over and over until we face the fear and learn from it and grow from it. It's the same when we have these fears before taking action. But we don't want them to hold us back. We want them to have our back and take their energy and cause us to move forward. So that's the first thing. What are you trying to teach me? And then go ahead and, on your right shoulder, have a discussion with the part of you that wants to do the act, wants to use it to serve, wants to use it to move forward into greater levels of showing up each day as a better version of yourself, creating more value to you, to your family, and to the world. So what is that desire to do it there to teach you? What's it there to do to help you transform and grow? List 3 things that you could learn and grow from by doing the thing you've been avoiding. Again, express your gratitude to that part of you, that higher part of you, that courageous part of you. Express your gratitude that they are a part of you and that you value them and you value their voice and you value their energy and you value their why. And you value and respect how much they want to do this and how much they're afraid of what's going to happen if they don't do it because they want to do it so much. Value that. You will call on that. You will use that. And then finally, you have those 3 things to learn from the fear, those 3 things to learn from your courageous self that moves ahead and acts, and find a way to integrate them. And you'll find you have 6 reasons to go and act and do the thing you've been avoiding. But now you understand why you've been avoiding it, and you understand what the benefits and the growth and the, all of the positive opportunities there are to carry forward. And that's how we'll be able to take that energy, right? Because energy is energy, but channel it forward, use it to fuel us forward into doing what we've dreamed of, achieving the goals we've set for ourselves. And then finally, it's important to open up to divine grace, right? Divine inspiration, divine support, and divine grace. However that you tap into that, whatever means you use, whatever you believe, whatever works for you. Remember that last component. We're tapping all of this energy up from ourselves and all of the experience and the wisdom and everything, our love for and passion about doing it, but also remember to tap the divine, tap grace, right? Tap that divine inspiration and motivation and support that comes from that. And you'll find so many amazing things can happen when we do that. Okay, so with that, time to open up for comments, questions, ahas that you gained, whatever you'd like to share. This time is now your time. I'd like to be second. All right, Marvin, you're second. Go ahead.
So I've been retired now for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started talking about the conversation about what's next. Like, what am I going to what do I want to take on that's bigger than, because I have activities. I'm growing a lot of my own vegetables and um, learning a lot of new music and
Yep.
creating a big song circle. And
Yeah.
it's like, I think the biggest, um, most confronting thing is, how good am I willing to have my life be? Like, I've hit a level of intimacy in my relationships in the last 6 months or so that is, um, I can't even put words to it.
Okay.
So far beyond what I ever thought I would have in my relationships with friends, family, uh, like that.
Yeah. So that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Are you saying then there is a fear arising that if you choose to pursue another direction or additional things, that that somehow is going to be affected? What is the fear
Well,
that's holding back?
that's what this conversation stirs up.
Okay, so what is the fear? Let's put a face on it, because we do have other people that want to share, so we want to
Okay, so
wrap it up.
it's like what, I don't know. I'm in this inquiry about this, and
Okay,
I don't have answers,
okay.
but
But
it's like,
how about we work on the exercises I gave, right, for tonight, to put a little more structure, detail on it, and also let's talk offline. See if we
okay.
can have some clarity.
Okay, thank you.
Good, you're welcome. But very valid, very I think a very popular situation for folks in our our realm of having retired and looking what's next. So great, great topic, and let's continue to explore it. And for those of you who have the same fear, use those exercises we gave tonight. I think you're going to get some clarity. Well, thank you. Okay, Jocelyn.
The exercise tonight makes me it reminds me of a time where I was in training and we were given the opportunity to go up a trampoline that was already high and go up the ladder and go with the guy there that were helping us with strapping us and everything, and then we would fly over the thing and be grabbed by another guy on the other side, and then he would flip and let us go down. I was under, and I remember saying, okay, I'll be next. Okay, I'll be next. By 7 or 8 of them, I was so much in fear that, and I was trying to convince myself, okay, I'll go next. And finally, I was one of the 2 that stayed on the ground. And before it ended, I remember the leader said, this is it's a lifetime opportunity. If you don't do it, you will regret it for the rest of your life. And I said to myself, oh, he's just talking. This is not, but it's exactly what happened. At the end, even someone who was a handicapped person was helped up there and did the trick. And I had all my capacity together, and I didn't do it because of the fear. Now, after that, they had an effect on me, of course. I felt like failure. I felt like missing a great opportunity. But years later, I had the fear of heights, and I went to the Grand Canyon, and I entered the Kebab Trail without knowing that I would be 5,000 feet up there looking down. And I just entered without knowing. And the first thought that came to me as I got frightened with phobia was, if I don't do it, because I want to make this memorable, if I don't do it, what's going to happen? And because I had had that experience with the trampoline, fair enough, I did go down one step at a time with the fear of that immense kind of void, and went back up with and feeling like, okay, I was right. But after a while, I just go one step at a time, and I did it, and I came back, and I was really, really proud of myself. And then I was able to take the helicopter as a result. But as you said earlier, is that I knew by then what would happen if I would not do it. And that was, it had been painful enough that this time I did seize the opportunity, and I just did it with the fear. Instead of fighting the fear, I just said, okay, come with me, one step at a time. Cannot control you, but I can control putting my feet one and take one step after the other. And what I did, and I did that for 3 hours, almost 3 hours, going down up the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, perfect example of, I love what you said about taking your fear with you, because that's what courage is about. It's not about not being afraid, because we're all going to be afraid, right? It's part of our brain. We're wired for that. Whenever we're looking at something new, whenever something approaches us we think might be threatening, right? It's what we do with that fear. We can allow it to pull us away, or we can take it with us on the journey. And then we have all the benefits. Once we go through it, we have all the benefits we built, that confidence. Great story, Jocelyn. Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Janine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You know, a couple of things to share. Number one is Sir Laurence Olivier said that the day he never had butterflies was the day he would hang it all up and not ever go out on stage again, because that was what gave him the energy. What I came to terms with as a performer, perform through the form, and that I'm really a vehicle, something that's coming through. And I experienced the jitters as a docking procedure of the little self lining up to receive this bigger energy coming through, and really to understand that the idea to do whatever we're going to do isn't ours anyway. Who gave us that idea? So it's a partnership with that higher self, that bigger part of us, that's going to take us through it. And you know, sometimes the fear is a yellow light saying, okay, you don't have enough information, or you need to study the industry a bit more, or something. But really, it's a partnership, and the fear is the inner guidance, and our Geiger counter, and our GPS, and all of that stuff. So, yeah, through the form, I've actually sent you a quote, Mike, that whenever I have an art show, I post this quote because it's one of my favorite quotes about being a channel, being the unique expression of who we are, and there's only one of us. So we do have a responsibility, if those dreams and ideas come through us, to partner and make them happen.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Beautiful. Anyone else? This will be the last one, because we're gonna need a little time for a wrap up here. Carol.
When we were talking about the fears, what I said to myself was, but they're real. You know,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're like these. They are real. They're not like, you know, there could be dire consequences. Well, I mean, they're not going to kill me, but you know what I'm saying? That's what came through to me.
Yeah, they're real. And then what?
I'm going to work a bit more with this program. I'll watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, at the very least, what we've received tonight, or what we focused on, is they are real. They're there. but we have the opportunity to have dialogue with them. We have an opportunity to take the time to analyze them, to see where is the real risks and where are the rewards, and does do the risks outweigh the rewards, or do the rewards outweigh the risk? Our why will become strong enough to make that decision. But also we're building, the other beautiful thing about fear is like going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, you have these weights, you push the weights up, they create resistance. It's the resistance that causes our muscles to grow. If the weight was like the weight of a feather, we could push those weights all day long. We will not gain any muscle mass at all, because there's no resistance against the muscle to cause the muscle to tear and rebuild itself stronger. Fear creates resistance, and resistance creates opportunity to strengthen ourselves through experience, but also to build our focus and build our command, right? Build our command over our mind, our emotions, and our body, right? One of my mentors talks about how every day he starts his day after meditation and getting himself in the right mindset. He jumps in 40 or 30 degree water every day. He jumps into ice water. He hates it, but he does it every day because it's his way of telling the mind and telling his fear and telling his body, I'm in command. You are a partner with me. You exist to help me move forward through in the achievement of my goals, but I'm in the command. So I tell you, we're jumping in that water. I don't want to do it. I know you don't want to do it, but we're going to do it because of the benefit of it, short-term and long-term. So that's kind of, when we build this conversation, this communication with our fears, we're building this communication and cooperation with our brain, with our mind, right? All of the aspects of our inner workings to get into that rhythm of, yeah, I know there's resistance. Let's talk about it. And let's see what's stronger. If the resistance is stronger, as Janine said, maybe it's a yellow light. Let's take a look and analyze a little bit better. And then if my why and my determination to move forward becomes stronger than my fear, I'm going to do it. Okay. So building that communication, that cooperation is a great positive outcome of working with our fear. Okay, Jocelyn, one quick comment before we have to wrap.
Yeah, Carol, you're right. You know about some fear being real, but some are not. Some are imaginative. And that's where we have to discriminate between both. If you have a guy following you on the street and you start feeling bad, you don't think, oh, I'm going to look like it doesn't affect me. And no, it's a real fear. It's a real fear. However, if it's about getting out there, like I have a quote here of Brené Brown that says, today I choose courage over comfort. So if you, every time you have to get out of your comfort zone, you're going to have those fears, and those are not real in the sense that they're just stretching you out of some limits that are kind of, choking you. So it's discriminating between a real, because if it's a real, and you have to act according, but many of them are not. They're imaginative, and that's the one that we want to eventually take, how do you say, not let lead our life.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely true. Janine said they're all real because they are things that we encounter and that affect us. So in a sense, they're as real as we make them, but they are not all actual threats to us, right? That are going to actually cause physical damage. Right. So that's where we need to look at what happens if I do, what happens if I don't. Is my fear and hesitation, what's the reason behind it? What can I learn from it? Right. then we take that energy and we channel it towards a positive outcome. So take those exercises, we gave tonight, explore them. I know we didn't have very much time to do them. This is live right now on Facebook Live, and the recording will stay on Facebook Live for a while. So go back and watch it again, or at least work with the exercises and see what you come up with. Have that communication with your fears, have that communication with your inner self, take it into meditation and contemplation and prayer. Work with it, and don't ever allow yourself to sell yourself short. Don't allow yourself to stop yourself from having a beautiful, wonderful, powerful growth experience, right? Just because of the fear of what might happen, because it might not happen, and then what, right? So let's give us the opportunity to look at these things before we don't act, which choosing to not act is actually choosing to act. It's just the act is not acting, right? So either way, we're making a choice. Let's educate ourselves to make productive choices that help lead us to the life we want to live and the person we want to show up as tomorrow. And so that leaves me with 3 minutes for my shameless self-promotion, which is a necessity of every show. And that is, we must tell people about the wonderful opportunities for me to serve you. And so my programs, very, very excited about these programs. The first one, which was launched about a week or so ago, in its new and next level of existence, the evolvedhealthcaring.com program. Very excited. We have people in the healthcare industry who are literally reinventing themselves, reinventing their ability to serve others, to serve them not only on one-to-ones, but also to serve in groups on webinars and seminars and workshops and video, and now online courses. Just amazing, wonderful people having the courage to say, what else could I do besides what I've been doing for years that might be actually burning me out or causing me exhaustion, or that's just not making me happy anymore? How could I take my desire to serve the health of others and take it in a new and different direction and begin to generate revenue beyond just how much do I make by seeing one customer or working 8 hours in the practice or the hospital or office? So very excited. For more information, please go to evolvedhealthcaring.com. Actually had a wonderful person who saw this, the video from last time, our last meeting, and went to the site and checked it out. And we've had a great meeting, and I'm hoping very soon to begin to work with her. Had many other meetings in the last month or so. So I have 8 slots open. I would love to have any of you who are out there watching on Facebook Live, or any of you that are out there watching us on Zoom that are in healthcare or know of someone in healthcare who want to take this next step. Go to evolvedhealthcaring.com, follow the prompts. You'll learn some amazing things, and it's a great program. And I'm giving thousands and thousands of dollars worth of services, for just the cost of the coaching. I'm creating websites for the people. I'm creating videos for the people. I'm hosting a webinar and hosting seminars, doing all kinds of great things to promote and help them launch. And I'd love for you to be one of them if that's an interest you have. For those of you who are brand new to my program, this first time you're joining us on Facebook, if you are looking for a simple, easy guide to help you build a tremendous relationship with yourself, to help organize your thinking, your time, your energy, your choices, all of those things, this Goal Mastery Journaling System is a great opportunity. It's like having 7 journals in once. It's a motivational, inspirational, time management, gratitude, dream journal, values discovery journal, and much, much more. Plus, it takes you step by step how to use each section of the journal and how to grow with it. I always say, this is not a journal you write in. This is a journal that writes inside of you. And it's not a journal, it's a system, and it's an experience, and it's a journey. And I take you step by step through the videos. You get to listen and watch people who are in the process of going through the program use it, their questions, their comments, their wins. An absolutely wonderful program. And everyone who has taken it, and many of the people that are on the session tonight on Zoom have taken and experienced it. And then it leads to, my signature program, which is now an online self-paced masterclass, the Your 9 Steps program for Goal Achievement Mastery. This is a series of masterclasses on video and a workbook session with each class. So there's workbooks for each class. There's 2 sessions per step. And after 45 years of looking at the things that helped me go from being homeless to establishing an incredible career, an incredible life, these 9 steps I've organized and built so that everyone can walk step by step, go through the learning, use the worksheets, watch the videos, and actually manifest and achieve the tools, experiences, courage, confidence, and skills in order to reach this 9th step and actually achieve your goal and be able to use your goal achievement to help others and inspire others. I'm as excited about that as everything else. So if you're interested in that program, MikeDeLucaCoach.com. If you're interested in the Goal Mastery Journaling System, go to GoalMasteryJournal.com and you'll be able to see it there. And again, the Your 9 Steps program is found on MikeDeLucaCoach.com. Go to MikeDeLucaCoach.com anyway. You'll see amazing videos of people's podcasts and shows that I've been on, and many, many videos I've recorded to help inspire people. And also, if you know of people, family members who are interested in dreams, created a wonderful program called RideMyDreams.com. You go to RideMyDreams.com, you'll learn how to ride your dreams. Great workshop called Quantum Dreaming that takes you step by step through some special exercises to really connect with your dreams. Exploring the many types of dreams is a video, audio, and also directing your dreams is an audio I recorded as well. Comes with a great, easy to use dream journaling and dream interpretation system built in that was taken from my Goal Mastery journaling system. And with that, that is leading to coaching. Many of the folks who are here tonight have worked with me one-on-one in coaching. And I do have a coaching program available to help you move towards the achievement of your dreams. Slots are very limited because of my Evolved Health Caring program. So if you're interested in very specific coaching, go to MikeDeLucaCoach.com and take a look at what we have to offer. And with that, that is the end of the Super Bowl commercial of the evening. And I really want to say how much I appreciate you all being here tonight, how much I love and appreciate every one of you, having worked with many of you. For those of you watching on Facebook, even if I don't know you, I love and appreciate you and the fact that you are watching and you are looking to take a step forward in your life. Thank you for that desire to grow and that desire to be of greater value to you, your family, and the world. I truly honor and appreciate that above all. So I want to wish you all a wonderful evening, a great week. Looking forward to seeing you in our next session.